Shri Anil Shirole.
I would like to thank Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji and Honorable Arunji Jaitley for helping bring such a marvelous piece of legislation that will help not only the central government but also all the state governments as well as country as whole. Our government is committed for passing of the Goods and Services Bill and its rights. Earnest Honorable Finance Minister Sri Arunji Jaitley is doing commendable job. I think the introduction of Goods and Services Tax would be a very significant step for the history of indirect tax regime in our country. By amalgamating many central and state taxes into single tax, the GST would mitigate double taxation and would eventually pave the way for common national market. The biggest advantage therefore would be in the terms of reduction in the overall tax burden on goods, and it would boost the economic growth. However, may I take this opportunity to urge Honorable Finance Minister to give a stress on item of help to the consumers also. I feel detailed data of anticipated taxes on a few states, including the major states, be collected to ensure better understanding of the GST by the consumers. When implemented, the CGST, HGST, UTGST, and IGST I would levied at rates to be mutually agreed upon by the center and states under the GST Council. However, I would like to suggest the details of all these taxes can be made more simple so that it does not sound vague to all of us. Regarding the GST and center-state financial relations, I find the additional duty of customs, commonly known as CVD and SAD, may counterbalances excise duties, sales tax, state value-added tax, and other taxes levied on the domestic product. All these areas need detailed advance estimation. Regarding the committees under the EC on the GST-related tasks, I find that the business processes under the GST regime will be examined by a committee, and that committee would examine issues pertaining to registration, returns, refunds, and payments. May I suggest that a payment to government and subsequent refunds should be minimized or should be kept at minimum possible level. Secondly, the committee to draft model GST rules on the registration, return, payment, refund, and invoice will be put in the public domain after the comments and feedbacks on these rules will be examined for the incorporation. I believe all these rules need re-examination. Regarding the Goods Services Tax Council, the existing tax incentive scheme of central and state governments may be continued by respective government through reimbursing via budgetary routes. The schemes in the present form may not be continued during the GST regime. May I propose this to be referred to the DBT before a decision in this regard is taken. Similarly, a cess of 28% on luxury and seen goods would be imposed for period of 5 years to compensate states for any revenue loss on account of implementation of GST. 1 minute, sir. The Council would ask the Committee of Officers to feed various goods and services in 4 slabs, keeping in view the present incidence of the tax. I suggest that this be included as planned funds in order to single interface administrative control over taxpayers having turnover below rupees 1 crore 50 lakhs would vest the
Anil ji, please
state tax.
conclude now. Conclude.
एक मिनट point है. 50 lakhs would vest with state tax administration and the remaining with the central tax administration. Further, all administrative control over taxpayers having turnover above 1.5 crore shall be divided equally in the ratio of 50% each of the central and state tax administration. May I suggest this division of administrative control needs to be reconsidered. So regarding the power to collect GST in the territorial waters and its further delegation to the states, I feel Act should be specially mention this and it may made a part of the Act itself. Regarding one point only. Regarding the role of CBEC, I find based on the legal provisions and procedures for GST, the content for the workflow software such as SEC, Automated Central Excise and Service Tax, would require reformulation. It would be desirable in case the same will bring changes and the Parliament be informed of the developments in such a forthcoming sessions for a period at least 3 years from the date of implementation of the GST. Regarding organizational,
समाप्त करें काफी हो गया Conclude करें
एक point है. Regarding the organizational structure and development of human resources, a working group was formed and said group after extensive deliberations has submitted its reports which will be considered by the board. I feel the Ministry of Finance should place the report on the table of the Parliament so
Shri
that
Om Birla.
we all can know the details on which the group has come to the conclusions.
माननीय सभापति महोदय,
बैठ जाओ
एक पॉइंट
हो
है,
गया, हो गया।
खाली एक पॉइंट है,
अरे हो गया काफी हो गया
एक पॉइंट खाली.
यहाँ से बोलने का परमिशन मांग लो।
आफ्टर
बुला दिया मैंने
आफ्टर
माननीय सभापति महोदय,